There are nights when the mind refuses to settle, when it reaches for something just out of grasp. You know that reaching, that hollow ache of wanting to be anywhere but here, anyone but yourself. Tonight, let that reach soften just a little. Not because you have to release it, but because this forest asks nothing of you. Here, in the quiet shadows of the trees, you are safe. There is no danger woven into this darkness. Only rest lives here. Only stillness. The day is done. There is nothing left to solve, nothing left to uphold. As the evening mist settles low over the water, simply allow gravity to pull your tired chest and heavy shoulders deep into the mattress, surrendering your full weight to the earth. Welcome to the deep forest. Tonight we will walk together with Solon, a small amber gold river stone, resting on the bed of a slow and ancient river, deep in the heart of the woods, where the water moves like a whispered secret. The river here is not wide. It winds through the roots of silver-barked trees, catching the last pale glow of the moon on its surface. A soft, shifting light that dissolves before it reaches the bottom. And it is at the bottom that Solon lives, has always lived. He is oval, worn smooth by 1,000 slow seasons, his surface the colour of warm honey dried in afternoon sun. A single vein of white quartz runs through his centre, curving gently from one side to the other, like the line of a sleeping river within a river. If you were to hold him, he would fill your palm with a satisfying, grounding weight. But Solon does not feel satisfying tonight. He feels heavy, and in his heaviness, he watches the mist. It rises from the water just above him. Slow, pale ribbons of vapor that lift from the surface and drift up through the willow branches without effort, without direction, without any weight at all. They do not cling to the riverbed. They do not press into the silt. They simply go upward, outward, dissolving into the cool night air, as if the world above the river is where everything light and free and effortless belongs. Solon watches them and feels the familiar ache settle through his quartz vein. Why not him? Why must he be the one to press into the mud, to be held down by his own density, while the mist moves without asking permission from anything at all? He tries. It is not the first time he has tried. He focuses all of himself, every mineral layer, every compressed particle, and he strains upward toward the surface, toward the light. The water moves around him, indifferent, and the silt yields slightly beneath him, cradling his effort the way a pillow accommodates a restless head, pressing back just enough to keep him where he is. The mist does not notice him. The mist is already gone, already somewhere above the willows, already part of the open sky. And Solon settles back down with a dull, quiet thud that no one hears. He watches a pale ribbon of vapor curl away from the water near his left side, and he studies it. He tries to understand what it has that he does not. It carries no quartz vein. It holds no shape for longer than a breath. A breeze touches it, and it shreds apart, scatters into the dark, becomes nothing distinct at all. For a moment the mist is a curl, then a smear, then simply the same cool air that surrounds everything. Solon thinks, surely that is better. Surely that freedom, that non-attachment to any single place, is what ease feels like. And so he tries again. He presses upward with everything in him. The river does not argue with him. It simply continues. It moves over his surface, the way it has moved over him, for longer than he can measure, smoothing the small rough places that once existed on his edges, rounding what was once angular, wearing him into exactly the shape he now carries. The water does not ask him to be other than what he is. It works with what he is. It has always worked with what he is. But Solon is not thinking about that. He is watching another ribbon of mist lift away, effortless, gone, and he is straining again. Hours move the way the river moves, slow and certain. The moon traces its arc through the willow branches. Above the surface, its reflection breaking and reassembling on the water in a rhythm that has no urgency and no end. Small creatures settle into the roots along the bank. A moth lands on the surface of the water upstream and is carried gently past Solon, its wings still, its body surrendered to the current. It does not fight the direction it is taken. It simply goes where the water goes. Solon watches the moth drift past and feels something shift in his quartz vein. A small, quiet thing. Not a realization yet. Just the beginning of one. The way the sky begins to change, long before the sun actually rises. He tries once more to lift himself, and this time he notices something he has not noticed before. In the straining, he cannot feel the river. He cannot feel the smooth, constant pressure of the water moving along his sides, the silt's patient hold beneath him, the way the current divides around his shape, as if his shape is worth dividing around. In the straining, he loses all of that. He loses the only thing that is actually his. He stops, not because he has decided anything, not because a great understanding has settled over him like a warm mist of its own. He stops simply because the straining has grown so loud that he can hear nothing else, and in the silence of stopping, the river returns to him. All of it. The pull of the current along his left side, the slight warmth the silt hole from the afternoon sun, buried now under layers of cool water, but still there, still radiating up through the mud into his underside. The white quartz vein in his center, catching the faint moonlight filtering through the water, carrying a glow that the mist above never owned and never could. A ribbon of vapor rises near him, and Solon watches it. It tears apart in a breath of night wind. It is gone before it reaches the willows, and Solon remains smooth, warm in his own slow way, held. The river moves over him. He does not move with it. He does not move against it. He lets it move over him the way it always has, the way it always will. And the quartz vein in his center catches the last of the moonlight filtering down through the surface and holds it. The silt beneath him is soft. He had not noticed how soft until now. It receives his weight without complaint, without condition, pressing back up against him with the same patience the river has always offered. The mist is somewhere above the willows. Solon does not know where. He finds that he does not need to. His weight, the one thing he had carried as a burden, the density he had spent, the long night fighting, settles into the riverbed, like a breath released after holding too long. Not gone, not dissolved, not scattered by a passing breeze. Simply home. The river whispers over him. The silt holds him. The quartz vein dims slowly, the way a coal dims after the fire no longer needs to be fed, glowing softer and softer and softer still. Solon does not drift. He deepens, and the river, as it always has, continues without asking anything of him at all. And here, the river finds you too. Not the water itself, but the memory of it. The cool, soothing presence of it, drifting in through the edges of this quiet night. Let the temperature of that slow current settle around you now. A soft coolness grazing the surface of your skin, carrying with it the faint green scent of moss and wet stone, and the deep, unhurried dark of a forest that has been resting for 1,000 years. Breathe it in, not as an instruction, just as an invitation. Let your ribs open the way the river opens around a stone. Slowly, without force, finding the shape of what is already there. And let the breath go all the way until your chest is as still and settle as silt on a riverbed. Perhaps today carried its own kind of weight. Perhaps there were moments when you reached for something just beyond your grasp. when you pressed against the current of the hours and felt the current press back. You do not have to carry any of that now. It can rest on the riverbed beside you, smooth and still, no longer requiring your hand. You do not have to sleep tonight. You do not have to do anything at all. You only have to rest here in the deep forest, held, settled, smooth, and sinking home. Settled, smooth, and sinking home. Settled, smooth, and sinking home. Bring your awareness down now, all the way down to the very tips of your toes. Notice them. Just notice them. The way the river notices a stone without judgment, without needing them to be any different than they are. The soles of your feet carry the memory of every surface they have touched today. Let the cool, silken current of the forest river move over them now, drawing that memory gently away, soothing the tension held in the small bones and the soft tissue. The way water dissolves the last of the day's warmth from a stone. Allow your feet to completely unwind. Give them permission to stop holding anything at all, to soften and widen and sink into the surface beneath you, as if the mattress were made of the same patient silt that held Solen through the night. Moving upward now into the calves and the long muscles of the shins. These muscles have been quietly braced all day, holding you upright, carrying you forward. Let the river reach them now, cool and soothing, moving up along the length of each leg in a slow, unhurried current, and invite those muscles to release their quiet grip. Allow your nervous system to settle the way a stone releases the last of its heat into the water. At the end of a long, sun-warmed afternoon, let the weight of your legs become something the mattress holds, not something you hold. Drifting upward still to the knees, and then the soft, heavy weight of the thighs. There is so much held here, so much dense, tired weight that the body carries without realizing how long it has been carrying it. Imagine the river current thickening here, slowing, pressing down with the warmth of the deep forest floor beneath it. And feel the long muscles of your thighs absorb that warmth and soften. Give your body permission here to simply be heavy, not heavy as a burden, heavy as a river stone is heavy, settled, and certain, and belonging exactly where it is. Your awareness drifts up through the hips now and into the low bowl of the belly. The belly is often the last place we remember to release, because it has been held in, braced softly against the world all day without our asking it to. Let the cool river mist settle here, a soft, weightless pressure that moves with your breath, rising and falling, asking nothing. Allow the muscles of the abdomen to soften in layers. The way the riverbed deepens from gravel to sand to the smooth, unhurried dark. Rising now into the chest and the wide plateau of the back. Your back carried the weight of the day, and it has held that architecture in the long columns of muscle along the spine without complaint. Bring the river here now. Let the current move in long, slow strokes up the length of the back, the way the water moved along Solon's sides in the night, unhurried, wearing nothing away by force, only by patience. Let your spine begin to soften vertebra by vertebra. Each one softening its grip, each one trusting the surface beneath it to hold what it no longer needs to. Drifting up through the shoulders now. The shoulders are where most of the reaching lives. Notice if they are still lifted, still angled forward, still holding the posture of someone who has been pressing towards something all day. Let the river move over them, cool and soothing, and invite them to fall. Not dramatically, just the last half inch of falling. They have been resisting. Allow the weight of your arms to cascade down through the elbows, through the wrists, through the loose curl of the fingers, pouring that weight into the mattress, the way the river pours itself into the soft silt of the bank. And now, gently, your awareness rises to the face, the jaw first. Notice where the teeth are resting. Allow a small space to open between them, the way a stone allows a small gap of water to move between itself and the next stone. A passage of ease where there was once only pressure. Let the jaw hang the tongue. Find where it rests against the roof of the mouth and let it drop softly down to the floor of the mouth, heavy and still. The muscles around the eyes, all that fine, intricate tension gathered there from a day of seeing and reading and searching. Let the river mist move over them now, cool and feather-light, and invite them to soften into the dark behind the lid. The dark is not empty here. It is the same dark that holds the riverbed, the same dark that held Solon, while the quartz in his center dimmed to a slow, comfortable glow. It is a full dark, a safe dark, a dark made entirely of rest. Settled, smooth, and sinking home. The river moves. Somewhere in the deep forest, and you are held smooth and certain and belonging exactly where you are. Good night.